Ollie, gosh, best performance of the season. How was that?
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was a beautiful day in the capital, and the football kind of reflected that in some ways. And it was nice to score a bunch of goals and put on a bit of a show for the fans, and they deserve that. It's been a while since they've experienced us win at Sky Stadium, so very relieving from our perspective, but also rewarding for the boys as well.
You hadn't scored for a win in quite a while. You guys have now scored a third of the goals you scored last season. Does the attack really feel like it's starting to gel?
I think that aspect of our game has not really been a concern right from round one. You know, we scored a good goal even with 10 men in round one, so the goal scoring's there. And the way we play, we're always going to create chances. The quality we have within the squad, we're always going to create chances. So it was nice to put those away, and it's just the other aspect of the game that we can tidy up a little bit. We were still sloppy in moments and gave them a few chances which they probably didn't deserve in terms of creating their own.
So, because for you, you've got the best position because you can watch from the back and watch how everything's going. So what's the differences that you're noticing from last season to this season?
I'm not sure. I mean, tactically we're still playing the same way. We're still preparing the same way. We've obviously got a lot more depth within the squad. Whilst it was fantastic to see so many young boys get opportunities last year, which is what this club's about as well. But it's yeah, we've got a lot of depth now, especially in those front four positions. So when you've got competition for places and you've got the quality that we have up that end of the field, it tends to show with being slightly more clinical and taking opportunities, which obviously is starting to come to fruition.
And what does Ben have to do to get a start in the game?
That's the crazy thing. Alfie's made some changes and nobody's safe, and I think that also has reflected in the last two performances. You know, when you have that natural competition for places, people have to go out there and play with hunger, and they have to perform, otherwise they're not going to play. Wayno continues scoring, continues doing his thing, and that's fantastic, and we all love to see that. But you know, the difference in the last two games and probably round one as well was the bench and the impact that the substitutes made. So if he's setting up the team to win the game, he's not setting up the team to win it in the first minute. He's thinking about those substitutes and how they affect the game. So, you know, whether players deserve to start and they don't because Alfie feels that they're going to change the game best off the bench, then that's the way it's going to be. And that's the nature of having good depth in your squad. Players are going to miss out. There's only 11 spots, and it's a good thing for me. Seeing those boys come off the bench and change the game is really healthy for what we've got going on here.
What you're kind of saying is you're becoming more of a 90-minute team now, that you can stay in the game longer.
Exactly. I think last year the quality of our performances was still there at times, but a lot of the times we had to really hold on tight for the last kind of 20-30 minutes because we didn't quite have that depth coming off the bench. So it makes a massive difference to the performance when you've got players that can come on and add something to the game and change the game in our favour. So you're starting to see that, and that's really pleasing.
I guess you've probably conceded a few more goals than you would have liked. Yeah, that's still a concern, still a work on for you guys.
Absolutely. It's not been a complete performance yet. I think we were sloppy early in the first half on the weekend. Still gifted them a few chances that, like I said, they probably didn't deserve through their build-up of play or anything like that. It was more our errors, so that's a definite work on for us. And yeah, the conceding goals is frustrating. You know, I think that's 9. Now, so that's a tidy up area for sure, and I'm still searching for that clean sheet, so we definitely need to tidy a few things up, but overall the defensive performance was pretty pleasing. Because
I think you've mentioned top 4's the goal, and that's kind of the difference between making top 6, top 4, or even playoffs in general, right? So yeah, got in this around.
Absolutely. I think last year we finished in the top 6, but we had a negative goal difference, and it was significantly negative. So that's the difference between getting to play at home and the playoff game. So that aspect of the game is something that under Uffy, our structure, we pride ourselves on, and we haven't quite got it right so far. There's been a lot of change in and around the back line as well, a lot of shuffling, so that's going to take time and players have to settle in. And there's a lot of new players that are still finding their feet within the structure as well, and that changes things because we're a team that defends from the front. Our 9s and 10s work very hard without the ball, our 6s as well, so that's something that will come with more games. So we're going to get better with each game, and hopefully you start to see those clean sheets appear.
And just lastly, Western United this weekend, bit of a rivalry's formed with this team as well. They're bottom of the table, I guess. a perfect opportunity now to sort of use that momentum and lift yourselves even more, right?
Absolutely. Momentum is massive in this competition because it's not a long season. Unfortunately, we have the break coming up, which kind of alters things slightly, but it's an important 3 points for us going into that break. We don't want to stall. We want to be on the front foot coming off out of that break. So really important for us. And like you said, you know, Western United's a team that is struggling at the moment, but we know they'll be extremely hungry for those points, and a team that beat us in the playoffs last year when we thought we performed really well and probably had the better of the game for most of it, so we owe them one. And yeah, it's been a great rivalry. I think we had the better of them probably last year until that playoff game, so yeah, something we need to sort out.